Hey everyone, welcome to the review. Here's my review for the movie Thor Ragnarok. Yes, Thor Ragnarok stars Chris Hemsworth, Mark Ruffalo, Kate Blanchett, Anthony Hopkins, Jeff Goldblum, and Idris Elba, and this movie is directed by Taika Waititi. Yes, Taika Waititi previously directed movies like What We Do in the Shadows and Hunt for the Wilder People, two fantastic, hilarious comedic films, and now he's done an MCU film. I think every filmmaker is trying to strive to make another great MCU film. Yes, this is the third Thor film that we've had in the MCU, and I think this is the 17th installment of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I don't know if that's correct, but whatever. And yeah, before I talk about this movie, I'll talk about the previous Thor films, just very briefly, what my thoughts about them are. The first Thor film is a genuinely good movie. It is a good film. I love how Kenneth Branagh directed it. It looks gorgeous. Asgard looks amazing. Chris Hemsworth was really enjoyable and so charming, and so freaking dashing, and man, he's a charming motherfucker in that movie, God. And I like the fish out of water story. It's been done to death. Kat Dennings was a bit annoying, but the film worked as a whole. Thor: The Dark World, I don't think is bad. The only bad MCU film is Iron Man 2, but The Dark World has entertaining scenes in it. Chris Hemsworth is enjoyable. Loki steals the whole film, Tom Hiddleston, so yeah, it's an enjoyable film, but it is a very forgettable and at times very generic. Malekith is like the most forgettable MCU villain ever, and it's just a forgettable film. It's not bad, but it's very forgettable. And now, Thor Ragnarok. Thor Ragnarok is a film. This wasn't my most anticipated superhero film of the year. That was mostly Wonder Woman and Logan and stuff. Even Spider-Man Homecoming. This, not quite, but I was still excited for it because I heard it was like a buddy movie in space and stuff, and that sounded really cool. And yeah, the story of this movie is there's a new villain named Hela. I won't go into details with her backstory because that's spoilers, but she basically takes over Asgard and destroys Thor's hammer and shit, and Thor gets banished to this new planet, and this planet's like a gladiator stadium where he has to compete, and there he meets Bruce Banner, aka the Incredible Hulk, and together him and the Hulk basically have to take back Asgard with a bunch of other team of mercenaries and stuff, and you got Loki back, and you got Jeff Goldblum in the film. And this movie is directed by Taika Waititi, and right off the bat, I thought that was a very odd choice, but I thought it was kind of a clever choice because Taika Waititi is hilarious. I love his comedy, like What We Do in the Shadows and Hunt for the Wilder People are just hilarious films and just so enjoyable, and I love him as a filmmaker. And what I heard that what he was doing, I heard he was making this really hilarious comedic film with really grand special effects and grand cinematography, and he was basically going for a buddy comedy epic superhero film, and I think he 100% accomplished that. Thor Ragnarok is not only the best Thor film, but this is one of the best superhero films that have came out this year, and it's definitely in like my top 5 favorite MCU films. This movie was a fucking blast to watch. This was so freaking good. I absolutely adored Thor Ragnarok. Everything about this movie impressed me. The visuals were fantastic, great CGI. I'm not always pro CGI, but the CGI looked amazing. The worlds looked epic. The action was amazing. It was so well filmed and so well shot. It was so fast-paced, so exciting. My God, like the adrenaline was pumping through me as this movie kept going and stuff, and it was awesome. Chris Hemsworth is back as Thor, and once again, he's one dashing bastard, and he gives a great performance. Mark Ruffalo is back as Bruce Banner / the Incredible Hulk, and we get to see more Hulk than Bruce Banner, and I like to see Thor communicating with Hulk. Hulk's not just this big dumb green guy. He can talk and communicate, and it was really cool seeing more Hulk scenes, and I'm glad that they brought in Planet Hulk, because Planet Hulk is one of my favorites, probably one of the best comic books, of the Incredible Hulk comic books. It's just such a great story, it's such an epic story, and I love the animated film as well, and yeah, I'm glad that they brought Planet Hulk in the Thor story, and yeah, Chris Hemsworth and Mark Ruffalo have fantastic chemistry. I love this buddy relationship between Hulk and Thor. It was awesome. Loki's back, and Loki's always amazing. Tom Hiddleston is just so much fun to watch, and yeah, Loki is amazing. And we have a great MCU villain once again. Yes, Michael Keaton as the Vulture showed us that, hey, villains can be pretty badass in the MCU, and Hela is no exception as well. Cate Blanchett gives a great performance, and I thought she was a really, really intimidating villain, and she gave an excellent performance, and I thought she was so good. I also love seeing Heimdall again, played by Idris Elba, Odin, played by Anthony Hopkins and stuff. You got to see returning characters, Benedict Cumberbatch as Dr. Stephen Strange. Again, and seeing all the connections with the MCU and stuff, and of course the end credits and stuff, all of that is just so delightful. But this movie is exciting. This is probably the funniest MCU film ever. I'm just saying that. I love Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 and Volume 2 and stuff. They're hilarious films. This one might be funnier. This is the funniest MCU film. This was laugh out loud hilarious, and I had a blast from start to finish. I was not bored once, not for 1 second watching Thor Ragnarok. This movie blew me away, and I had so much fun with it. I felt like a 10-year-old kid watching the 1989 Batman for the first time, or watching Superman for the first time, or when I went to theaters and saw like X-Men 2 for the first time. It was just so exciting and so fun. When I first saw the first Spider-Man movie in theaters, the Tobey Maguire one when I was a kid, it was so exciting, and watching that made me feel like a kid watching a superhero film and just falling in love with it. It is just so amazing. This is everything that I wanted from a Thor film. Is there flaws? Sure, there's some like exposition heavy scenes and stuff, but they didn't bother me. They really didn't. And some people might have a problem with this movie being too jokey. Some people might think, okay, there's too many jokes in this film. And I completely understand that, because people want a very serious film and a very dark film. At times I want that, but for the context of this plot and these characters, I thought the comedy worked beautifully. This movie was visually striking, and the action was fantastic. It had great cinematography. Taika Waititi did an amazing job directing this movie. He was even in this movie as well, and he was awesome. He was freaking awesome. The relationship and the dynamics between Hulk and Thor was fantastic. Loki's amazing. The villain was amazing. The costumes look fantastic. I can definitely see this movie getting some Oscar love when it comes to makeup, costumes, and cinematography and visual effects, because they're all done stunningly well. And yeah, I absolutely loved Thor Ragnarok. This is one of my favorite films of the year. This is one of my favorite films of the MCU, and this is the best superhero film I think that came out this year. It's right there with Logan. It's funner than Logan, but I don't know if it's quite as good as Logan. I'll have to find out by the end of the year, but I absolutely adored Thor Ragnarok. I had not a single issue with it. There are flaws with it, but there are flaws that I had no problems with, so yeah. I absolutely adored Thor Ragnarok, and yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give Thor Ragnarok a 10 out of 10. This movie was fantastic. I highly recommend it. Everyone's going to go see it anyways. Everyone goes to see the superhero films anyways, but go check it out. Go see it 2 times, 3 times, and I hope you have fun with it. So yeah, that was my review for the movie Thor Ragnarok. So in the comment section below, please tell me, what is your favorite Thor film out of the Thor trilogy? Yes, we have an Iron Man trilogy and a Captain America trilogy, and now a Thor trilogy. I think Captain America's trilogy is a little better, but yeah, we're talking about Thor here. I'm going off track. My favorite Thor film is actually Thor Ragnarok. Yes, I love the first Thor film, but Ragnarok is the best. It is the definitive great Thor film. But yeah, what are your thoughts and opinions? What is your favorite Thor film? Comment below, let me know. And as always for this video, please like, subscribe to this channel, and join the dark side.